Welcome to DrivenMavens.com. My name is Arvin. We're going to do some quick sketching with a brush pen. This is a Pentel brush. I was doing some of these examples back with our post-it note sketches. I'm going to continue on with just trying to see how we can control this brush a little bit better, get some nice varying line weight, and try to do a 3/4 view sketch of a BMW. So let's go. Alright, here we go. I am using let's see how this works. I'm currently using a hammer mill paper, and this is a little tricky because I'm so used to having or feeling the paper or feeling when you're using with mediums that are like pencils and stuff, that you can the feeling that the texture of the paper and being able to use pressure on the page also helps to allow for that control. Now that's being taken away from me, so this is going to be interesting how I'm able to control it, or maybe not control it, don't know. We'll try. Eesh. Really beautiful pen here. I just like even the smoothness of it is really what gets me. So I'm gonna do this one all the time here. Okay, we'll go about there. It's almost like painting with a brush. That's what's really nice about these pens. If you're able to do this with a brush pen, I think you're going to be able to do this pretty well with a paintbrush, and that's another thing about drawing in general, is that when you're using mediums like this, or when you're trying to practice your basics, that's where all your line or your simple exercises that you're going to do is going to come in handy, because they will transfer later to some of these things. You'll get a direct correlation of the results. Okay, so we got this. This may need to go a little lower here. This is going to get tricky because we've only got theoretically only one value. So I'm not going to get any varying value ranges here with this. But I'm still, even as I'm drawing this, I'm still using the same principles that I would normally use when I'm drawing with a pencil or a pen. So none of that stuff, just bear in mind as I'm doing this, none of that really changes. I'm still making sure that that's really the most important thing, that I'm keeping the same principles in mind as I'm sketching, and I don't compromise that. Which means you got a light feathered touch. Okay, so I want to make sure that my center line is correct. Alright, so we got this here. I want to make sure I get the other part of the grill. I want you guys to comment below after you watch this video. What do you think of some of these vehicles that are coming out? We just finished up, the auto show is already completed for 2014. Pretty interesting stuff that came in, but I would have to say that not a lot not a lot for concepts this year. And same with even electric vehicles. There wasn't a lot of things to look at that I felt, at least anyway, that were different. The Mustang was kind of nice to see up close, and so that was pretty cool. I did like it. I felt that in lieu with what I've been seeing with some of the other brands, I felt that the lines could have been actually a little bit sharper. I mean, when you look at this BMW, it's the same thing here. You've got really pretty sharp lines on a BMW, and that brings in a sort of aggressiveness to the design, and it sort of adds to the sporty look to it. And I think the Mustang was pretty good, but I just felt that it could have been, I just felt that the lines could have been a little sharper. Overall, I think did a really nice job on giving the Mustang keeping the heritage and the look of the Mustang. I still think it looks like a muscle car. And if anyone is curious, I don't remember all the styled lines, so when I'm drawing here, people ask me, are you looking at reference? Yes, I do look at reference as I sketch. References are good, especially if you're looking at drawing existing vehicles. Then they're important because you have to make sure that you're maintaining the integrity of the design, the proportions and stuff. Now, oftentimes what I'll do is that if I want to draw something that's a little bit more unique, then what I would do is that I would look at some current designs that I really like, or I feel that I enjoy, or I feel that they are sort of nailing the trend. Then what I do is I make sure that I try to add a little bit of that flair. If some of you remember that Hyundai was really, I hate to say it, quite, they were kind of terrible, I think, at the beginning. I used to call them the Frankenstein of the automotive designs, because they didn't really have an identity. And now when you look at them, they've got a really strong, powerful design language, form language, and I see a lot of companies wanting to look at some of those. And not to mention just the bang for the buck that you're getting. Pretty amazing. I mean, they're really beautiful, the styling that they're doing right now. And alright, so I'm going to open up the wheel here. Whew, this is hard. Not feeling it is man, that's quite a trip, I tell you. Not being able to feel the texture of the brush, or it's different, but fun. Okay, so we got this. This is all going to be, I'll color all that stuff in. I probably won't do it with this one. I'll probably go in back with a permanent marker and sketch all that stuff in. So now I got this, and this is going to come back here. And I've got the fog lamp in this area that I want to capture. trying to digest. You know, the surface is gets pretty complicated here. I was asking one of my friends who's working in design studio, GM design studio right now, and I said, man, some of these surfaces you guys come up with, like BMWs, they're really pretty powerful and also difficult to draw in multiple different views. I said, how do you actually do some of those things when you come up with them? But it's really, as he was explaining to me, it's just yeah, they are getting complicated, and what they do essentially is make sure that there's a combination of the people who do the modeling. So there's a combo of not only modeling the surfaces, but when they go back and do the clay models, they make the changes to it. So pretty interesting, you know, the process, because you can't, you know, your sketch is going to get the theme and the design intent, and then once the sketch is completed, then some of the other things that you use for the design is captured through the modeling process, because you find new things. I mean, you may have an initial sketch, and then once the engineers get a hold of it, then things have to change. But on the whole, what happens is they start with the sketch, they get the theme laid out, and once that's all completed, then you do have to refine it, and some of that refining stage comes with having to make some adjustments, and they can do that in clay. They sculpt all that stuff in. So pretty cool. And then I think once all that is sculpted in, then you're able to, the next time you draw something, you can kind of keep some of that design language in mind, and see how you can utilize that for something in the future, or enhance it, whatever. It's a lot of fun though. I do like using it. It's going to take some time for me to completely get used to it, but you see it here. First time seeing how a brush pen is utilized in something like this. So I don't know what that noise is. I got Sunday, so the kids are home and playing. So I'm gonna actually leave it here. I'm not going to finish this off. This is essentially the sketch that we come up with. Just add a little bit of some reflections here, and that's it. Okay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I'd like to stop this recording before the kids make any more noise. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. DrivenMavens.com. Have a good one.